He rattled his maracas close to me, and I kissed him quite literally underneath the castanets. We're off to France, Spain! It's 1982, and not many people have even heard of George Michael, let alone think that he might one day enjoy kissing men underneath the castanets in toilets. But George was an emerging talent, and we're off to the land where they brutally murder bulls for fun.
Sanchez got it over the heads, and beautifully taken by Zamora.
Neri's coming through from right back.
We could be in trouble here. And we were right.
Could still continue. That was Carantini on Batista. Diaz! What a good goal! Now they've seen him. A lot of movement in the area. Trésor! Marius Trésor puts France in front!
This is a game which made history in the World Cup.
Litvarsky. Primic. Fischer! 3-3!
If there's one thing those ruthlessly efficient Spaniards know how to do, it's organise a World Cup draw. Manana, isn't it? Bananas. Marvellous.
The huge metal drums had hardly begun revolving before there was controversy.
Now this is going to cause a slight complication, and I think there may be a small delay. And the ball is taken back. Yes, there's an error here. The first one should have gone into Group 3, as I said, and the second one into Group 6, as I said. And one or two around are trying to put the blame on one Campos Cremada, but I think to blame an 11-year-old is totally unfair.
The drums kept getting stuck, and inside, the miniature footballs, each containing the identity of the teams to be drawn, kept falling apart.
And here comes the other South American, Chile.
Officials tried to poke them out with their fingers, and 3 times the draw came to a halt.
There's the broken ball.
Well, our own FA councillors have been accused of dropping a ball or two in the past, but I don't think we've seen anything to surpass that draw just now.
When England and Scotland's balls finally dropped, they both made a great start. Isn't it? Marvellous.
Bracken. That's a good run and allowed to go on. Douglas. And yes. And Robertson takes it and goes.
On the night, everything went well for us, and we won 5-2. We won quite comfortably.
Away go England, left to right. Ray Wilkins looking for Steve Coppell straight away.
I couldn't believe the start we made in the game against France because we hadn't really worked on that set piece. We worked on the left-hand side with Kenny Sansom in the long throw. And we hadn't really done any work on the right-hand side.
Butcher has pushed well forward.
I just lumbered up, and the ball came over, and I flicked it on.
There's a header in there, and a great chance for the first goal, and it's there, Brian Robson. Here is Terry Butcher.
I think it was a throw-in. We weren't really concentrating. The early England goal changed the face of the game.
Hold on, it's Francis, and Robson! Now again! Robson has scored for England. Brian Robson again finds the telling position to get the header in, and England are back in front. Ray Wilkins coming in here. And Francis, and Trésor missed it, and it's been driven in.
It was a big win for us because Czech and Kuwait afterwards on paper looked the easier matches.
5 to run in, one is Rick. Oh, that's a mistake by the goalkeeper, and an absolute gift for Francis.
Ron Greenwood, who was the manager, just stood up and said, right lads, we're qualified for the next phase of the World Cup final. It's fantastic. He says, just go and get drunk.
Never in our wildest dreams did we think we were going to beat Brazil.
The delight in itself,
That was a wonderful Brazilian side. It was possibly the purest Brazilian side of all time.
Typical Scots fashion. David Mary
scored a goal of goals, and suddenly we're beating Brazil.
Nery's coming through from right back.
It would have been worthy of a Brazilian.
I was right behind that goal, and I remember celebrating like I'd never celebrated before.
You can actually see when David Neary is celebrating that he's leaping about himself, because the rest of us are going back to the halfway line going, oh Christ, I think we've annoyed them. We could be in trouble here. And we were right.
10 and 11 to watch for here, and Junior number 6 can come in as well and curl one.
Alan Ruff was a terrific goalkeeper, but he was a Scottish goalkeeper, and he set the wall up, and then he just moved the wall at the last minute and had a pretty good view of this and created this gap.
And that was Zico.
I think they just believed that they could score at will, and they just stepped up again. They didn't just score at will.
And Oscar's in there. That's a goal. Little chip. Here's Falcao with the shot.
The game that really counted for us was against the USSR, and had they won that, we would have been in the second stage.
And it's a warm night on the Costa del Sol for the Scottish dream to come true.
Juventus. He's caught. A real chance for Scotland. Singalia, Gavrilov.
And the tie began to run away from us when Willie Miller and Alan Hansen both made for the same ball and were under no real pressure. They collide, bingo, Russia score, and we're in trouble.
This is Singalia to put Scotland out of the World Cup.
I'm sure Alan, the pundit, will tell you what went wrong, so I'll leave it to him. So that's his job now. If I was him, I'd blame Willie.
No question now that the Soviet Union will go on to Barcelona. As soon as...
Back to 2-2, a couple of minutes to go, here we go again. So it's a roller coaster of emotions, which you have to expect if you're a Scotland player, more especially a Scotland fan.
Rafa's got to pump it all the way forward. But the final whistle goes, and Scotland again are denied.
Northern Ireland were up for the crack, apparently, but this didn't stop them from becoming the unlikeliest of World Cup heroes.
We had a few useful players. Pat Jennings, Martin O'Neill was there. Sammy McElroy was in the team. Billy Hamilton. Norman Whiteside, who had just turned 17, was in the team.
He was the oldest and biggest and hardest 17-year-old I've ever seen.
It may be Spain in June, but today it was back to less glamorous football in the reserves against Stoke City's second team.
I think he'd only played 1 or 2 games for Manchester United at that time, and to be thrown straight into the World Cup stage, it was an incredible feat, really.
Yeah, I was on about 16 quid a week when I made my debut. Yeah, I was actually. And the win bonus was 800 quid or something, so I was like, ooh, this is a life.
Was it desperation that put him in the Northern Ireland team at 17, or was it great vision by Billy Bingham? He could use both feet, he could head, he could put it about a bit. He was from a tough area in Belfast. He knew how to handle himself, and boy did he prove himself.
The opening game against Yugoslavia, he's gone in tremendously hard twice on 2 Yugoslavian defenders.
Good play by Whiteside. Has he taken it too far? He has, but only just.
Well, I'm not only the youngest player, I'm the youngest to get booked in the World Cup as well, because I actually got booked on my debut, believe it or not.
Well, frankly, I think that's undeserved. Looking for Sheryak, Martin O'Neill with the interception, and then Armstrong carries it forward. And a good return from McElroy. Armstrong. And still Armstrong.
We drew against Yugoslavia, which was a good point. And then Honduras, we may be unlucky, we should have beat those, and we were favoured to beat them, I think, but we didn't.
Curled in beautifully. Oh, it's got to hit the underside of the bar. The goalkeeper makes the save, but it's Armstrong who forces the ball home, and Northern Ireland takes the lead.
We had to beat Spain, the host country. You know, no chance.
There was 55,000 fans in the Luis Casanova Stadium. I think there was something like 300, 350 Irish fans. You couldn't hear the Irish fans for most of the game because of the noise from the Spanish fans, and it was very intimidating.
The ground is very close to the pitch, you know, on top of you, really.
Whiteside. Good turn by Norman Whiteside.
It was a game we knew that a draw wasn't good enough. We had to win the game to qualify.
Lopez Ufarte, Godilio. Jerry Armstrong, what a worker he is.
I picked the ball up deep in my own half, made a 40 or 50 yard run with the ball and played it out wide right to Billy Hamilton.
Still Billy Hamilton, he's got past Tendilio.
The only thought in my mind was keep it low, hit it, keep it low, hit the target. Argonauta spread himself like a star shape and the ball went underneath his legs and into the back of the net.
Northern Ireland have scored through Jerry Armstrong.
Every now and again, just those moments in history come along for us. It was that night in Valencia.
I'm over hugging Jerry and I'm so excited, you know what I mean, to see that go in. It was a magnificent game. I think back in Northern Ireland, I mean, people still talk about it.
We knew then we were going to have to withstand the onslaught.
Alessanco, out by Hamilton. Alonso.
It was a long 43 minutes, I'll tell you.
A fight between Donaghy and the Spanish player.
He should never have got sent off. I mean, the referee was on the price from the home crowd and everything else.
Mal Donaghy of Luton is in trouble. It's red. It's the red card for Donaghy.
We knew we had to, well, beat everybody on the night, including the referee.
And he's blown, and Northern Ireland have done it.
It didn't sink in at first, you know, when the final whistle went, it was just a mass of Irish players, the substitutes, all running on, Billy Bingham, camera crews, running onto the pitch to celebrate.
Dressing room was bubbling, like you wouldn't believe afterwards. Everyone's hugging and kissing each other, and it was a great night, I must say.
To beat the host nation, the favourites. I mean, it's boys' own stuff, really. And we were quite confident about going up against Austria and France in the quarter-finals.
Jerry Armstrong with Hamilton to his left, and O'Neill in support also. Armstrong going alone, look at that. And Hamilton! What a goal! 5 minutes gone in the second half. Plays it short. Shot was fouled by Master, and it's been deflected in. Hasker to Hintermeyer. Oh, what a shot!
Suddenly, from being 1-0 up, we were 2-1 down with like 20-25 minutes to go, and we had another mountain to climb.
The shot. Oh, Jimmy Nichols in here. Right across, and can Hamilton finish it off? It's a goal.
2-2 with Austria. All we have to do is beat France, and we're in the semi-final of the World Cup. Now, that would have been a dream, wouldn't it?
For the first 15-20 minutes, we really went on the offensive and created a couple of chances. And then Lady Luck didn't smile on us because Martin O'Neill scored a goal, a great goal, but the linesman disallowed it for offside. And when you look at the replay, you can see he's clearly onside.
Well, that would have put us 1-0 up. Like, anything could have happened then, couldn't it? You know, dreams could have came true.
And still, and turns it back for Giroud. 1-0. He may go all the way here. Well, didn't he just go all the way? Then turns it back to Roscoe. Still Roscoe.
It's 20 years ago now. 20 years ago. When there was so many happy memories that I'll never forget.
With soccer giants Northern Ireland out the way, the road seemed clear for Brazil.
We were so totally in love with Brazil.
He had Leandro coming from the back, and Zico Paulinho. Roberto making for the far post. Oh, he curved one! That's a great goal! And
Brazil, of course, were the favourites to win the World Cup in Spain.
Chipping it in, and a possibility for... Oh, Rossi! Rossi's got it! 1-0 to Italy.
Rossi. Don't forget Rossi.
The ball forward to Zika. Oh, what a turn. He's through Gentile. Socrates is in here. It's there! Socrates has put Brazil level.
We only needed to win to go through. But playing Brazil meant our chances were slim.
Cerezo. Oh, Rossi. And Rossi's in again. 2-1. Paolo Rossi.
He scored 3 goals to Brazil. It was a lot of suicide in Brazil.
Still Falcao out. Still Falcao. What is right? It's there. 2-2.
And 2 years after they have a flu, epidemic flu, they call the flu Rossi flu.
Bagomi is up there, shot by Tardelli, and it's been turned in. Paolo Rossi was there again.
Paolo Rossi was on fire. He got 3 goals. We knew after beating Brazil we could go on and win the World Cup.
Would you believe it?
And while Monsieur Rossi was finding his scoring touch, England had lost theirs.
West Germany wearing the white shirts, England in red. I wonder if that's an omen from the World Cup final of 1966.
We were scoring goals at ease in the first phase. Second phase we had chances but just couldn't take them.
All the way across to Ray Wilkins. Lobbed it back in and Mariner just checked by Briegel as he came in. Mariner's gone to the right, it's still Ronson.
I remember that game probably wasn't a great game.
Rummenigge. And Rummenigge! Oh, he's hit the bar! The Brazilian referee blows the final whistle. There are whistles too all around the stadium.
England had to beat Spain by 2-0, and Ron Greenwood made the decision that he would keep Keegan and Booking on the bench.
So just on 9 o'clock on a stiflingly warm Spanish evening in Madrid, England come to their own private high noon.
It was an open game, but with Kevin and Trevor not taking part until the final few minutes, it was disappointing for everyone.
He sent them to the left, didn't seem to be aware, but was in the end, and what a good shot.
Kevin and I came on, with 25 minutes to go.
And in his hour of need, Ron Greenwood has turned to 2 men who have served him well in the past.
We did have a couple of chances early on.
To Brooking in a bit of space. And a chance for Brooking.
I'm sure Kevin will look back at that and say I had 18 minutes and it could have been a famous 18 minutes.
That's nice. This is Robson.
He hung it up the back post and Kev said, 9 times out of 10 he'd have put it in blindfolded.
Keegan pulls away and gets the header and it's wide.
It's unusual for Kevin to miss a chance like that because he normally tucks them away, and I think it's just down to the end to match practice, and it's a gamble.
1982, I think, has to be the biggest disappointment. It has to be the major minus, I think, way above anything else during my playing career.
The 1982 World Cup comes to an end for England.
The semi-finals had their own heroes and villains, didn't they? Rossi was once again the hero for Italy against Poland. Harold Tony Schumacher was the creature from the Black Lagoon against France. Who says good guys finish first?
The game was a clash of styles. There were skillful players on the French side, there were solid workers in the German side.
Breitner on the ball, Litvaski will have the shot. Oh, and he hit the crossbar, but the goalkeeper beaten to the wide. Counts in trouble,
When we took the lead early in the game, it was great. You could see the opposition thinking, God, the Germans are strong.
As we look and makes the run. Platini. A bit of pushing and shoving and a penalty given for holding on Roscoe. So Michel Platini, vital for France. And it's in, and it's 1-1. And we have a semi-final with a vengeance.
There was a through ball, so I went for it. I've never been afraid to come off my line, even to come out of the penalty area.
Platini and the great ball.
I thought, ooh la la, what's this? Something's coming at me. Then I couldn't see a thing. I was knocked out cold.
Just couldn't provide the finish as Schumacher came out and thumped him pretty hard too, I must say.
When I saw him lying there, I knew it was really bad.
Well, the referee calling for a stretcher.
I was totally unconscious. I received a blow to the side of my head and I lost 3 teeth.
That was actually a relief, because I had thought his injury was a lot worse. I thought, well, fine, I'll pay for his teeth.
And Battiston retires on a stretcher.
I regained consciousness in the medical room, but I did not know where I was. Someone told me it was the World Cup semi-final and we were 3-1 up against the Germans.
A lot of movement in the area. Trésor! Marius Trésor puts France in front. Here is Giret. What a cracking goal!
France had led 3-1, but the Germans fought back.
Litvarsky onside. Rummenigge! Yes! Rummenigge has made it 3-2. Kimmich! Fischer! 3-3! Referee has eyes on watch. Whistle in mouth. And for the first time, a World Cup has a match to be decided in a penalty competition.
So now this horrible goalkeeper who had collided with Patrick goes and saves 2 of their penalties. So he's knocked France out, twice.
At him, and it was allowed. Bossi, Schumacher move. Perfectly moved. And Horst Rubesch now has the chance of putting West Germany into the final against Italy on Sunday. And West Germany have won.
I always will remember these games because it is a game which made history in the World Cup.
2 different cultures, you know, the Italy of Puccini, Da Vinci and Armani, and the Germany of Bratwurst, the Scorpions and Lederhosen battle it out in the 1982 World Cup final.
The final between Italy and Germany was a game that had real prestige.
We knew the Italians hadn't played that well in the previous rounds, so we thought we had a good chance of winning.
Coelho of Brazil gets the 1982 World Cup final moving.
I believe the Italians went into that final believing they had every chance of winning it.
As far as Oriali. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge coming back to help.
There was a foul in midfield. I looked up and saw Tardelli going for the ball.
Here's Gentile.
There is always a huge satisfaction when you make a goal.
Gentile. That's a dangerous ball. And a goal.
I remember it as if it were yesterday.
The ball played in by Gentile. In they go together. Rossi and Cabrini. And in the net it goes. 6 goals in the tournament. He's equalled Kempis in '78.
We tried everything, but we just didn't get a break. Again and again we tried, but when they scored the second goal, that was it. We were finished.
It's Scherer. It's Magomi. It's Scherer. They're appealing for offside, not given. Scherer right across to Marco Tardelli.
I'm sure that at that moment Tardelli wasn't really on the pitch, but on cloud 9.
2-0 to Italy. Tardelli the scorer.
His face as he ran to camera with his arms up, I think it's probably the lasting image that people will have of the '82 World Cup.
At the end of the day, the better team won the final. We never really stood a chance.
And here's Conti. On the far side, Paolo Rossi unmarked, and Altobelli even better position. And 3! They're lighting little bonfires on the terraces, the Italians.
If you beat Argentina, then beat Brazil, and get to the final where you beat Germany, then you've beaten the elite of world football.
Italy are the world champions. And these disconsolate Germans.
The winner takes it all and the loser standing small.
And you've got to admire their skill and character here tonight.